Hey mamas, and welcome to the Entering Motherhood podcast. I'm your host, Sarah Marie Bilger, a wife, mom of two, VBAC mama, and doula. Here we integrate holistic mindfulness and evidence-based practices to support you on your unique motherhood journey. Whether you're trying to conceive, pregnant, newly postpartum, or supporting mamas in this stage of life, you'll feel empowered and informed as you embrace what lies ahead. Join us every episode to learn from professionals, special guests, and moms just like you, ensuring that you know what you need to know and discover things that you didn't know before. I believe in you. Let's doula this and let's navigate the transition of entering motherhood together. Okay, hello mamas, and welcome back to the Entering Motherhood podcast. If this is your first time being here, welcome. I am so happy that you are here. It means so much to me to know that y'all are listening in and finding this podcast and utilizing it and connecting and just sharing episodes and doing so much with it. And I just want to do a quick little shout out. We just wrapped up our daughter's first year of school. She just finished kindergarten and she had made so many wonderful little friends, and I made some friends with some of the moms, and it was just so nice hearing one of them come up to me the other day and say that she found out that I had a podcast and she listened in and that she liked the episodes. So, hey Sarah, how's it going? If you're listening to this, then thank you so much. But I just think that is so cool that you all are connecting and finding this podcast and telling me that you have found the podcast and listen in and are utilizing it or loving it or different things like that. So it's just really cool to have that happen. And, it will be coming up on almost 5 years. It's been 4.5 years that I have been doing this podcast. And so it's just really, really cool to be able to do this and keep the motivation going. But it has been a little slow and rocky the last few weeks because we are expecting our third baby. So I have been tired and not as motivated and just full of different things going on. Wrapping up with our daughter's school year, figuring out what we're doing for summer, having lots and lots of clients. There has been so many babies born this year and so many opportunities to do postpartum work and take photos and just be a part of all of these newly formed families. So thank you for that too, keeping busy with clients and everything like that. But in today's episode, it's just going to be a little bit different. I just wanted it to be, me and you sitting down here sharing a little bit about what life has looked like lately. We're talking pregnancy, just slowing down, the evolution of this podcast, and all of the incredible shifts that have happened since I left my corporate job, which has been officially over a year ago. So that's crazy too. If you don't know, I used to be a mechanical engineer working in corporate, and I just have been able to have an influx and a consistency of clients to make it be worthwhile to stay home with our son and take on some clients and just get to experience life in a new way and have so many different things happening. So it has been 1 full year since leaving corporate, and I have just been loving it. We have our, online birth course now too, and just other opportunities that have been coming and flowing. We have an event coming up in September that's going to be in person that I am super, super excited to share more about with you. There's going to be an episode coming up that we go into that and talk a little bit about what's that going to look like and why we're so excited to be doing that event. There's another local doula and a chiropractor in the area that all 3 of us are hosting together. But yeah, there's just so much happening and so much life going on lately. There's also our lake house that is being worked on, and we are at the painting stage. And there's a little bit of a spider story that I might share with y'all later on in this episode. Just so much has been happening, and hopefully, you will find some inspiration in this episode. And wherever you are at in your motherhood journey, or you're thinking about becoming a mom, or whatever it might be, I hope that you really pull something from this episode and you get to know a little bit about what's going on in my life and a little bit of updates on, life, business, motherhood, all those things together. Go grab a drink, go grab a snack, pop in those headphones, and really just sink in and take a minute to relax and listen to this episode. Maybe you're driving in the car, maybe you're heading out somewhere, whatever it might be, really just settle in and let's get talking about life and what's been going on lately. Like I said, we are expecting baby number 3. The summer is here. We're slowing down. I have been doing doula talks with Caitlin, which those episodes are still slowly coming onto the podcast, but they are all out on Instagram if you want to head over there and listen in there. But they will slowly be coming on here. But they are done for the summer. We have decided to not do our doula talks on Tuesday for the summer, so we're slowing down a little bit. I am not taking any clients over the summer, so that's looking a little bit different. Rosie and Isaac are both home here full time now, so it's just really, really exciting to have an official summer where I am with the kids and doing fun different things and exploring and seeing what that feels like. Also, at the same time, being pregnant with baby number 3. So, it has just been a lot. I'm definitely in that space where I'm having some unique cravings, mostly just craving a lot of fruit and veggies, feeling exhausted more often than not, but regaining my energy now that I'm in the second trimester, and just really just being inspired and ready to take on a lot of stuff, but also, ready for a nap at any moment. So it's a lot of conflicting emotions. There's a lot of different things going on. I'm building my birth team and figuring out what that looks like. We just had some family photos that we took, and there is just a lot going on. I have felt really connected with this pregnancy. This pregnancy has felt a lot more intuitive. I feel like because I know what to expect and what is going on, I can already feel kicks. I have been for a couple of weeks now, just little flutters here and there, already super early to be having some of those sensations, but it's been going on. I feel like right now it's a girl, but that might change. We are choosing not to find out the gender on this one. We really want to, just see what that's like and hold space for the unknown and have something to look forward to when they come out. And so we found out with both our daughter and son what we were having beforehand very early on. We did the blood work and determined what we were having, but something just feels really cool about not knowing. And I've been to a couple births now that they did not know what they were having until the baby came out. And it was just a really cool experience. So this might be our last. And I wanted that to be something that we try to incorporate this time around. We'll see how long it lasts. But like I said, it's funny just trying to figure out cravings or different old wives' tales about if it's a boy or a girl or what it might be. My daughter and I are both team girl, and then my husband and my son are obviously team boy. And we're just kind of playing at that and seeing, what happens. But either way, we are going to be super excited about baby number 3. But we've been making some really intentional changes. I have started going to the chiropractor for this pregnancy. I did that for both pregnancies, and it has already been such a huge help. And I'm just noticing how little tiny things like all the realignment in my body and how that is reflecting in my life and how things are realigning in my life too. And so really just taking the time to honor that and be intentional about different things that I can be doing throughout pregnancy. So I want to just take a moment right now and ask you something as you're listening. Is there any area in your life where your body is asking for more support or more rest, but you've been pushing through it? So that has been something that has kind of been coming up for me. And so I'm curious if it is something that maybe you can take a moment as you're listening to this and as you're just going throughout your day to pause and really just say, like, is there something in your life that your body's asking to be more supported in a certain way? Or are you needing more rest and you're just kind of powering through it or pushing through it or saying it's fine and no, I got to keep going, and you're not taking that pause to rest, or you're not acknowledging what your body is trying to say to you. So just something to reflect on as we continue to move through this episode. There's going to be a couple other things that I really want to point out and get you thinking about and have you considering as you're, just moving on throughout your day. So like I said, too, at home here, it is summer. Both kids are fully out of school. Isaac has been out of daycare, preschool, since I have left corporate, and Rosie has been in kindergarten, but now she is all done and we're planning some trips. We're going to go to the beach. We're going to go up north to Pennsylvania to go visit some of our family in June and July. And I'm just super, super excited to slow down, be really intentional about summertime and acknowledging that. Hopefully, also tapping back in here more, updating more, shifting out of the hustle and being on call and overnight shifts and things like that, and just letting my body rest and relax and enjoy and slow down and be more present with the kids and Jeff, my husband, and really just see what that feels like, because I haven't had a summer completely off like this since, I don't know, maybe I was in school, like college or high school even. So it's really exciting. We're probably going to spend a lot of time at the pool and do some fun day trips and things like that. But letting go of all that busyness and leaning more into alignment and seeing what that feels like. So if that is something that you are also doing, or if that is something that sounds so nice and inviting, then maybe just hold on to that, journal about it, write it down, see what you want your life to look like and what you want your motherhood experience to look like, and see how you can make a little bit more of that possible. Also, just kind of wanting to touch on again and recap how crazy of a year it has been. And like I said, it has been 1 full year since I left my mechanical engineering job. It has taken a while to really just sink in, but looking back at this past year, it's honestly been one of the most transformational times of my life. I left engineering, but I was still working on building something, and now it's fully something that I'm passionate about, something that lights me up, something that is really, truly aligned and a dream and unreal to think about sometimes. When I first left my engineering job, I was saying, "Oh, I'm not working," or "Mommy doesn't have a job." And so that has taken a while. And now, I talk about my clients and going to help families and all of this stuff. And hearing my daughter even say, oh, like you have a client to go visit with, or, oh, you went to a birth the other night. I was at a birth just a couple days ago and I had left like a little after midnight, 12:30, 1 o'clock, somewhere around there. And I had gotten back by 3:30, 4 o'clock, something like that. I don't know the exact times, I forget, but it was really only a few hours and it was in the middle of the night. So my kids didn't even wake up. They didn't know that I was gone. But I told them when they woke up that, I got to see a new baby and that they were born. And it's just a really cool thing to be a part of. We also have been going to church more regularly, which I'm super excited about. I help out there now and help with the kids' service and things like that. So reconnecting with my faith and really truly feeling like I'm on the right path there, even when things are uncertain. I think it's really, really awesome and great to have some sort of practice or faith-led inspiration, motivation, whatever you might call it, not necessarily needing to go to church, but having some sort of regular practice in place to have faith when things are uncertain or unknown, or just when you're even enjoying life and you want to be grateful and express your gratitude. My husband went on a men's hike with our church recently, and he had such an awesome time. And they're doing a women's hike, but I am going to be super pregnant by then. So I said, I don't think that's happening, because if it does, I probably will be giving birth in the middle of the woods because of all the walking and for how late in pregnancy I will be and everything. So we don't want that. But it sounds really cool and really fun and something that I might consider maybe next year. But just different things like that, finding friendships in the community and just connecting with people on a deeper level makes it that much more exciting to be there and to finally feel like we have found a place that we connect with and enjoy. But yeah, just with so much change and so many things happening, it's really crazy that all this has come to be what it is. And if you are, maybe starting to think about these kinds of things, or you're feeling stuck, I just want to say that you are not stuck. You are allowed to pivot and you're allowed to grow. So if you feel like you are just not in a space that you want to be in, if you are dreading going back to work after your maternity leave, or you are thinking, what is it going to look like when I have kids, or what is that going to be like, and I have to work this job and I have to do all these things, or maybe you're like, I don't want to be a stay-at-home mom, I want to go have a career, or whatever it might be. Just know that you are allowed to make those decisions, and you're allowed to dream, and you're allowed to try and go for those things. And it's definitely been a lot of budgeting, a lot more intentionality, a lot more restructuring, but we're doing it and we're making it work. And I'm seeing a lot of success in my business. And now we are happily pregnant with our third, which was also something that we have been struggling with for a couple of years. We didn't want to have a 4-year gap with our youngest and this baby, but that's what it's looking like. But I also do feel like everything happens for a reason, and everything happens at the time that it's supposed to, because our youngest is still very mama's boy and needy and cuddly and all the things. And he has really enjoyed being the baby. And so he is already expressing and having some mixed feelings about baby coming. But I think he's going to be such an awesome big brother, and it's really just going to be such a fun experience bringing another child into this family and seeing how the dynamic changes. So I mentioned before that I might tell a little bit of a spider story. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but our lake house is a work in progress and it is coming along. And my cousin recently came to visit and help me paint. There has been a lot of painting going on. We are painting all of the interior, the cabinets, the walls, the trim, the floors, like everything is getting painted. And so she was at the lake house and here helping me while Jeff was on his hiking trip. And I had a couple of births and she was here watching the kids. And then she was going out to the lake house. And it was just a lot of fun and a lot of stuff going on and just really, really helpful for her to be there. But while she was there at the lake house, there was a huge spider in the bathroom. And I'm not even joking about the size of this thing. Like, I only saw it on my phone when she sent me a picture. But even now, like sitting in my office, I'm looking around and I still have, flashbacks of this spider on my phone. I threw my phone completely across the room. I freaked out. I told her that she needed to come back to our house immediately. I said something along the lines of just burn the whole place down and come back. So we have since had pest control come out and spray. We had lawn maintenance come and trim down all the bushes and the grass and everything in hopes that we do not welcome big creepy crawly things. I mean, this was like substantial, fits in your hand, not like, quarter sized spider like that. I'd be like, okay, like that's fine. Like it will crawl away, things like that. Like this thing was able to pounce. She heard a thud in the bathroom and later went in there and saw it. And shout out to Jessa. Thank you so much for painting and doing what you have done and completed so far. But I have just been a little hesitant to go back because I do not want to come across something like that. But that's what happens when you buy property near water and woods and get all of the animals. And I know that they're good. I always say that spiders are friends, but you just don't want something that big and that substantial in your house. So we are closing up holes in the floors and the walls and working on all of that and making sure that they stay outside, not inside. Just a little funny story there. I also just want to talk about where we're going with the podcast and entering motherhood in general. I have just been pouring so much love into a lot of different aspects of the business, and I want to be more present and active with this podcast. If you haven't noticed, there has been an influx of episodes and very sporadic timing for episodes being released. It's not been consistently every week. Like I said, the first trimester was very exhausting. And so things just kind of got put on the back burner. I was keeping up with my clients and focusing on them and really shifting gears in that sense. And other things just kind of fell off. And now we're here though. And I am showing up and being very intentional. And I am super, super excited about what this space has become. There was just a recent website upgrade, a rebrand, if you will. So go check out the website if you haven't and see what's happening over there. There's some freebies, there's show notes for the podcast. There are different things going on in that space. And I've just felt even more connected to this community and really excited about where Entering Motherhood is going and what is happening, especially with baby number 3 coming. So there's going to be a lot less in-person clients and a lot more online things going. And like I said, episodes coming out. We have our childbirth education course that is fully live and available now. So if you haven't checked that out, please go do so. I'm just super excited to expand in that way and support more families while I can also be more present in this pregnancy specifically and take some much needed time off. So I just want every expecting parent to feel confident and supported no matter how they choose to birth. And that's why we named the childbirth education course Own Your Birth. And that is with Caitlin, who is another doula who is semi-local. She does do some births here in the Greenville area, but she is up in North Carolina around Hendersonville. So she is working there and doing her thing. And I am here in the Greenville County area. And we created this course so that you can really just own your birth, feel empowered, and learn how to take all that conflicting information that you get coming at you and really utilize it and know how to use what you learn in a really practical way, because we want you to be able to step into your birth and know how to approach any different situation that comes up and really feel confident with the choices that you're making based on the information that you have. And if you come across something that's new, you can, address it in the community and talk to us about it and have people to bounce ideas off of. And you can feel like the things that you are learning are preparing you for the unexpected and the unknown. And we're working through fears and we're clearing out those fears, and we are just replacing it with so much more to empower you. So that's been all happening and really, really exciting. And like I said, too, there is an event coming up in September. We are hosting an event called Build Your Village Summit, and it is a partnership with me and another local doula and a chiropractor. We are going to be doing a podcast episode specifically all about that summit and what you can expect, but it's going to be very community-centered, a really deeply supportive in-person event experience, and I know it will just bring so much value to growing families and the community, and just be such a good collaboration and a beautiful weekend and celebration. So stay tuned for all of that juicy information and all of those details to come soon, because I have already started sharing about it a little bit on Instagram, but I want to be sharing about it more here, and we're going to be doing a deep dive episode on that. So if you are listening to this episode and you are curious about the event or want to know more or want your questions answered in that episode, then feel free to reach out to me and message me and let me know what you want to see out of a in-person perinatal summit, all about building your village and finding community and what that looks like. We can include that all in that episode. But just to wrap up and kind of finalize and finish off this episode, I wanted to leave you with a little thing to ponder over, a thing to think about, and that is that sometimes growth doesn't look like climbing. Sometimes it looks like nesting, like listening, like trusting, like being still, and that is all okay. So if you are in a season of slowing down, you are still growing, and you're allowed to shift. You're allowed to soften. You're allowed to change. And all of that is working for you and helping you. So I also want to give you a little bit of a mini challenge for today or this week or whenever you have the time to just take 5 minutes, like 5 minutes, that's it. Maybe just immediately after this, even if you're just thinking about it or going on a walk or sitting there, I want you to ask yourself, what does alignment look like for me right now? And you might be surprised at what comes up and what you write or what you think about or what just pops into your head or what you maybe just have a conversation with a friend like, hey, like, what does alignment look like to you? And this is maybe just even your partner too. Just say, like, what does that look like when I fall deeper into what feels right and what feels good and what feels true and what lights me up, and how can I get closer to alignment, or what would that look like? Like, just try to imagine and envision, and maybe you are already on that path. Maybe you are getting closer to alignment and that vision. It doesn't have to be completely all life encompassing, all aspects of your life. Like, maybe just what does alignment look like for your birth? What does alignment look like in motherhood? What does alignment look like in your friendships? Whatever it might be, in your health, in your whatever aspect it might be, what does that look like? And just take some time to journal, go on a walk, or just sit with yourself and think about these things. I hope you got something from this episode and it really just spoke to your heart. Thank you for letting me share this information with you and pour out what's going on in our life and updating you. And I feel like, I'm just talking to a friend and having a space to get these moments out there to share a little bit of my life in hopes that it inspires you or shows you something about your life, about your motherhood experience that you can take with you. So, like I said, just thank you so much for being here. Share this with a friend. Maybe scroll through all of the newly added episodes and find one that connects with you, that is useful, and share it with a friend. Leave a review, post a screenshot on Instagram, tag me at Entering Motherhood. Let me know that this is helping you, that you're listening, that you're here, that you are a part of this. Because, hey, we have reached over 20,000 downloads. So I know that you're listening. I know that you're there. I know that this is out there and available and helpful to you. So connect with me, talk to me, reach out to me. I love communicating. You can email Entering Motherhood. You can send me a message on Instagram, whatever your form of contact is. Just reach out to me because I'm so excited that you're here and I'm so glad and thankful and grateful that you're listening. So see you later, mamas. I'm really excited for what's to come and all of the future episodes that are in the works. Thank you, mamas, so much for listening. Remember, you are a rock star. I believe in you. Let's doula this. Let's crank it up a notch and let's kick it into high gear together. Hit that subscribe button, share this episode with a friend, message me, email me, call me, beat me. You know how to reach me. We're doing this, mamas. I am so excited to catch you here next week. This is your one-stop go-to place for helping you find the resources you need to make the best choices for you and your family during pregnancy, birth, and most importantly, postpartum. See you later, mamas.